Welcome to the Digital Dynamo and the Sunday Project. Today, I have pleasure of hosting Mr. Harsh Kedia, a digital marketing powerhouse and a seasoned entrepreneur. He has a rich background in digital agency entrepreneurship, ad sales, and marketing strategies that has driven significant success in the industry. The key highlights of this podcast are Harsh's journey into digital agency entrepreneurship and how he built his business from the ground up, innovative strategy and best practices, insight into the evolving landscape and digital marketing, and how to stay ahead of the curve. Harsh's personal experience and lesson learned, and practical advice for aspiring entrepreneurs and marketers looking in to make their mark in the digital ad space. Join us as we explore Harsh's journey, uncover valuable marketing insight, and gain inspiration from his remarkable career. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the podcast and the Sunday Project, Harsh. It's absolute pleasure to have you here. Your extensive experience in digital marketing and entrepreneurship is something our audience is eager to learn from. And we are excited to dive into your journey, insight, and the wealth of knowledge you brings into the table. And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me in that. Yeah, please.
Yeah. So, so So first of all, I would like to understand. You have been to the sales background, and then you have moved to the entrepreneurship, and you have started your own agency. Uh, how this has happened? I mean, it was एक दिन रात को idea है यार ये करना चाहिए, or how you do the proper planning, or if there was any challenge you have seen in the market that you want to cater, and then you started. How did this happen?
So, like you rightly checked, I was a sales guy,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe every salesperson usually have this thing in their mind that if we are able to do sales for our organization, wherever you are working, why can't we create business for ourselves?
I
Now,
understand.
before every salesperson get excited and start opening their own business, I would like to put a
Mm-hmm.
disclaimer here that what we as a salesperson usually see is the first step of the journey wherein we get the business to the company. So we see, yes, there is a revenue of like 100,000 crores or whatever
Mm-hmm.
revenue we bring to the table. But the expenses, the ad hoc expense, everything is not known to a sales guy. However, like most novice people, I also thought to jump into this race of becoming an entrepreneur, to be very, very honest. I have been very fortunate, lucky to do something for myself over a period of time. To your question that whether it was with a snap of a finger or whether it was like one fine night, I thought that I'll become an entrepreneur and do this and that. No, it wasn't exactly like that. So I've been thinking about starting my own business for quite some time, and that's where I happened to meet the right set of people. So we are three founders in the company. So I
Great.
happened to meet the right set of people. Initially, we were planning to start with like 4 to 5 founders, and we all
Mm-hmm.
sat together in Mumbai for 3 4 days in a friend's flat, did our brainstorming, pivoted a plan that will soon become a God knows how many crores company and will take an exit and will make a lot of money, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, this company Auburn started as two founders. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't part of the main core founding.
Mm-hmm.
It was Ashish, my partner, and Kishore, the other partner. They started Auburn in 2013. And
Mm-hmm.
then, after taking a good long 1 year gap in preparing myself with finances and a lot of other things, I joined them in 2014, exactly after 1 year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
it was a well thought, well planned, with some savings in hand and everything, and that's where uh, this journey started.
Okay. So when you were discussing, that you are going to venture into the business, what were the first three things that you thought that this is very important? Without this, this won't happen.
Okay, so two things I can categorically say. Third thing I'll have to think of. One, I have been a ad sales guy. Now, you from the industry, you will clearly understand. Ad sales is very different from the agency business.
Yes.
Ad
Yes.
sales, you have a product, you go to an agency, you go to a client, you say, hey, this product is good, and the
Yes.
propensity of getting inside is high, but the
Mhm.
propensity of getting kicked out is also very, very
Also
high.
high.
If you,
Yes.
if say, if you, if even if you're selling, say, Yahoo or Google, you might be able to enter inside, say, Nestle's of the door, the doors of the Nestle's, provided your product looks good. But if your product don't deliver, you will be kicked out within 3 months or within a month, I would say that, right? Because
Mm, mm,
monthly
mm,
those P&Ls are being checked. However,
mm,
agency business is totally different. So for me,
mm,
um, uh, I have been primarily from ad sales background, and that's where 2013 and 2014 thing also come into picture,
mm,
wherein when 2013 we discussed between ourselves as partners, I also happened to have an offer from Zenith Optimedia at that same point in time, and it was to
mm,
lead the agency business. um, uh, Also somewhere the expectation for Zenith was that if a sales guy will be on board, they will be able to close more pitches for themselves.
mm,
And
mm,
in that entire 1 year exercise, it helped me a lot with industry exposure, making right connections with likes of Meta or Google or the publishers, which helped me with right set of say the credit line access and a lot of other
mm,
things, because you
mm.
happen to, if you're running an agency, especially a media business, you can survive only if you have a credit line support and payment supports and
Yes. Yes.
everything.
Yes.
You can't run it
You,
on
yes.
on your own, especially
Mm,
in
mm,
Indian market. So
mm,
that was one. Second is obviously the finances. You have to have some money in your hand, because you can't completely rely on the cash flow. Though we are till date bootstrapped, we don't have any
mm,
investor as such. But
mm,
during those days, we went to a lot of friends. We took some bit of loans and funds from them. But those loans were more like every month you have to either pay them back, or you have to ensure that their money goes out from the company as quick as possible. And in that scheme
yes.
of thing, what happened that as an entrepreneur or as a job, so prior to starting company, if say my salary was X, when I started Auburn, my salary was X by 5 or X by 6, and your liabilities don't go by 5
Yes.
by
Yes.
5. It's you have a car loan, you have a home loan,
I agree.
you got a bit of um, I would not say I'm not I don't live a fancy life. I'm a very, very I would not say down to earth, but I live a very low profile life, and I love to live that way. But even with that low profile life, your because of your social strata or economic thing, you have a funds attached to it. You have to make some expenses, and that was there. So all of this uh, was supposed to be taken care. And third thing, I think what was more critical for us to do, I guess, is to go back and see which clients are going to help us. Because initially, when you
Mm,
when you plan to start a business, most of the guys, what they
mm,
do is mistake, and I think we also did the same. That we thought, hey, we know so many clients, and these
mm,
clients will definitely turn their mullahs to us. They will be like,
mm,
oh, Harsh, Ashish, great guys. let's start our agency business, our
mm,
agency revenues with them. But it don't happen that way,
mm,
because
mm,
understand from the other side of the table also, if they are settled with one agency wherein they are they know that the team is there, the team will be able to help, etc. And also understand people who know you pretty well,
mm.
they will always have a question in their mind whether he or she will be able to deliver it or not.
Deliver.
Yeah,
Yes.
because people who have seen you, they have seen you from the Zenith's perspective or from the larger company's perspective, and they
Mm,
always question whether with their own setup, startup, whether they will be able to deliver, or to rightly put, whether we will be able to save their jobs or not.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is when your new relationship. So initial good initial years, most of the clients we got uh, were the fresh ones. So I
Okay.
don't recall much of a old relationships getting converted into client, though there were few. I'm not saying that it was totally zero, but some of the unexpected relationships worked. So I remember
Mm,
a very dear friend of mine. He used to work
mm.
for a large. I'll not name these people. Understand?
It's okay. It's
I
okay.
remember this guy used to work for one of the largest media outlet,
Mm-hmm.
and we were in a desperate need of, say, credit line, and it was somewhere around 20 lakh rupees credit line we were looking for. And that
Mm-hmm.
person, though being like a very very close friend, he said, no, we will be able to offer only 2 lakhs as a credit line. 18 lakhs check you
Mm,
have to deposit, or you have to give a PDC at least. Thankfully he agreed on a PDC. Versus there was this other lady, and we hardly interacted during Zenith Optimedia's days for, like, say, 1 or 2 times. And when I told her, look, there is this campaign from one of the reputed clients, and she was again working for, I would not say the top one, but second top or third top publisher at that point in time. She went all over to ensure that we got that credit line, and again,
mm,
same quantum almost.
mm,
So
mm,
same with clients. A lot of
mm.
such client
Okay.
experiences we had. So we understood that
Mm, mm,
whenever you are planning to start a business, a fresh start. So that's the third point I would say.
mm, 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 mm. That's nice. Nice to hear that. I mean, to start a business, it's a quite a bold step, right? And you have to plan everything: your finances, your resource, your clients, your delivery, especially in the agency setup. So एक तरफ आना है तो दूसरी तरफ जाना है तो then you have to manage everything, right? It is quite a bold step that you have taken.
Basic problems like talent. You can't hire
Mm,
people because people think, "Hey, अरे इतनी छोटी कंपनी में क्या करेंगे?" types.
mm, mm,
Usually people like to go, so we call it fancy glass offices. So
mm, mm,
usually people like to work in fancy glass offices
mm,
versus we started with a traditional छोटा सा shop लेके उसके अंदर एक टेबल डाल के, because that
mm.
comes at a cheaper cost. तो
Yes,
होता है
yes.
सर. Yeah.
So, any key moment or decision that impacted your growth? Any one thing that you see that not one, or maybe there could be many that you have impacted overall growth of the agency.
So, like I said, my partners, they started Auburn a year before me. So
Mm,
they actually saw not some exactly, but a lot of struggle in
mm,
terms of those initial zero salary
mm,
moments, and
mm,
listening to a lot of clients, sending media plans, proposals to a lot of businesses, and still getting no.
mm,
I am very lucky, fortunate. When I joined in March, February rather, I was there in Mumbai for this to discuss with my partners that how are we planning and all that. And that day itself, we got one purchase order. It
mm,
was around a crore rupee.
Oh.
And though crore sounds very very what do you
Yes.
call sexy in our
Yes.
language, but
Yes.
you know that the margins are only say 5 to 10 lakh in that.
Yes. Yes.
uh, the bigger headache was to manage that crore rupee credit line and all that thing. So yeah, the eureka moment were solving the credit issues,
Mm,
solving some loan issues, because a couple of publisher obviously they went with PDCs and or the
mm,
advances. So we had to
okay.
get some loans from friends, family, setup. Why I say loan? Because again, like I said, we tried to raise some funds at that point in time, though it worked really well that we weren't able to raise funds because we would have diluted our
Mm,
equity. And just for your
mm.
reference, till date, this company is completely owned between me, Ashish, and
Oh,
Kishore.
no, that's great.
But not that we haven't tried raising funds, but every
Mm,
time either it was a no from the other side, or
mm,
at one point in time we realized that no, raising funds might be completely suicidal for us as a company. So
mm,
that's why we are still bootstrapped, I can say that.
mm,
But yes, managing cash flows at that point in time was really, really difficult. And
mm,
then
mm,
second eureka moment was when we closed Asus business. So
mm,
through a friend of ours, we got to know that Asus is looking for an agency. Luckily,
mm.
I have worked with Asus during Zenith Optimedia days as well.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
so the team happened to know me,
Mm,
and we pitched, with some bit of understanding and everything about the client, we pitched the business. Asus major requirement, I think, at that point in time was to work with an agency who is able to be on toes with them, because their budgets were not that big. So
mm.
usually with the larger agencies, if the budgets are good, you get service really, really well. But if your
Yes.
budgets are smaller, then usually they look for very boutique startup agency. And that point in time, we were a very small
Mm,
boutique agency. So that's where Asus came to us. Thanks to client again, Seema and Arindam used to work with Asus at that point in time.
mm,
They really kept us on our toes. They
mm,
ensured
mm,
that whatever left, whatever was left in learning curve, they
mm,
ensured that
mm,
we got it. So
mm,
uh, we come from a very media heavy background. Whereas
mm, mm,
in agency setup, you have to be creative, you have to understand the brand and
mm,
this and that. So these guys ensured they did uh, quite some hand holding. They
mm.
burned midnight oil along with the agency. And
Okay.
yes, that one client, I would say, was like a learning curve. And then yes, one after the other.
Yes. So I feel like what I can get from this conversation, that ASUS was the breaking point at that moment, and you carried that as a, what you say, jewel, and you used it. Maybe used it, or you showcased your work to the other clients, so they get some confidence in you. So starting a small agency is always a challenge. Getting a client on board is a challenge because they don't know what kind of client you handle. So I think that SUS has helped you in scaling it up.
Asus helped us in getting the credentials done. So definitely
Mm,
got a lot of case studies, bragging rights, to be honest,
mm,
as an agency owner, thanks to Asus. Second, one more thing what we
yes.
did
Mm,
to keep us afloat, uh, and I think one of the main reasons where we are today is because of that, that we went extremely low profile uh, in
mm,
terms of our expenses, even after getting decent clients on board. So l- usually agency owners goes with Mac and whatnot, but till
mm,
date, two of us, me and Ashish, we still don't use Max. So we ch- chose that we'll become miser, and the right word would be the miser at that point in time. We chose that we'll become miser. We'll buy maybe second-hand laptops and we'll keep running the show. And it wasn't only for the team; it was for us
mm,
as well. And that is what helped us in terms of keeping us
saving.
afloat.
Mm,
Yeah, our salaries were bare minimum, wherein it was very, very difficult even to run the household
mm,
expenses. But
mm,
that
mm,
helped in terms of hiring a lot of people, because when
mm,
company have
mm,
money, we at least have that risk-taking capability, wherein we can
mm,
hire
mm,
more people, say.
mm, mm,
And I firmly believe agency business is very people-centric business, wherein you hire
mm.
more, you get more business. Simple.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
that helped us a lot in terms of this growth.
Mm. I also believe that agency is like, you onboard a client. Then if you don't have a team to deliver it, how will repeat bill that client? I mean, it is like एक बार तो आ गया ना, next time what will happen? So it is a people business, people
Look,
centric
to be
business.
very honest, during initial days, at times, yes, we struggled with the hiring of the team and
Resource, I understand.
delivery, etc. But like I said, media is something what we have lived, breathed for donkey years, to be very honest. And
Mm,
media was our baby.
mm,
Creative, etc. Initially, we outsourced. We worked with one of the friend, very close friend. Now he again used to run a very small boutique agency, but he has worked in the past with some large agencies. So he was also trying to grow. तो मिल के काम किया and all that. So
mm, mm,
initial days में
mm,
yes, you plug in all the possible
mm,
opportunities and you try to grow, and then you over a period of time you start realizing that no, some pieces have to be there in house. So we started
mm,
hiring. क्रिएटिव वाले को उठाया, फिर हमें पहला मतलब पहला दूसरा क्रिएटिव वाला एक्सपीरियंस करेक्ट नहीं रहा, देन वी वर लकी टू गेट अ सीनियर गाय ऑन बोर्ड. वी हमारी जितनी सैलरी नहीं थी उससे ज्यादा हम उस क्रिएटिव वाले को दे रहे थे उस टाइम
mm.
पर. तो वो सब चीजें करके वी ट्राई टू ऑप्टिमाइज द कंपनी.
That's great. That's great. So I will again take you back to your ad sales days. How have you seen the landscape of digital ad sales changing over the years?
It completely changed, to be very honest. Initial days, I remember my glory days were when I used to sell indianrails.gov.in,
Mm,
and I was part of Ad Magnet, and Ad Magnet was a reseller for indianrails.gov.in. Prior to that, I was with shadi.com. Again, we were into ad sales for shadi.com.
mm,
Uh, those days, people still love buying direct publishers. Uh, Creative innovations were very, very high. Um, Content syndications were there. Today, it's, I think, Google, Facebook, DV360.
mm, mm.
Now, the challenge, I think, is not, I think we agency guys ourselves, we only jumped on the axe here, because most of the time, what Google will obviously create one product and then another product and then another product. Meta also
Yes.
came with what Meta Audience Network or something like, more like an affiliate for Meta, right? So they will all try to do that because simpler. It's technologically, these guys have a lot of money and all that thing. But in that technology space, I think we lost that charm of meeting publishers. So
Mm,
initially, even when we started Auburn, we used to meet a
mm,
lot of publishers. We used to love
mm,
meeting publishers because publishers were the one who always gave you insight in terms of where the pitches are on. They will tell you what's happening in the market, because you being an agency person, your your exposure at times get limited.
yes. Yes.
Publishers were very, very helpful in that
Mm,
sense. But I think with DV and other such trade desk and whatnot, this charm is missing. Still, a
mm,
lot of PGDs happen.
mm,
Content syndications are still there. I'm not saying that it's not happening, but that
mm.
charm of meeting people, having fun, टपरी पे नीचे चाय पीना, आपको याद होगा सुरेश,
Yes, yes, yes.
टपरी पे नीचे चाय पीना और वो टाइम पास करना, वो one era.
Uh, so I always used to say that they are the spy for us. When they used to tell कि उस agency में क्या हो रहा है, what new they are doing, what new they are trying. So it as an individual, they used to feed me a lot of information. Yeah, I mean I'm sure it was happening with you
When
as
we
well.
started Auburn, me and Ashish both from sales and agency and mixed background, we made our company as a publisher first company.
Mm,
Usually agencies are client first.
mm,
We initially made it like a publisher first company, and it
mm.
helped us in our growth. Versus today,
Okay.
I can't say whether we are actually a publisher first company because publishers रह ही कितने गए, Google, Facebook, उनके लिए first
Mm,
बनने का logic नहीं है. मतलब you have to
mm,
service your
mm.
clients first, and
Client. Exactly.
so I have nothing against Google, Facebook, but understand it's more to do that for them we are more like a sales entity. We are their
Mm,
reseller.
mm,
Versus
mm,
publishers always saw agencies as their partners.
mm. Yes. As I'm not able to hear anything.
No, no, I can hear you.
Yeah, you were saying something.
No, no, I said publish. So I
Yes,
said,
yes. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. So, I actually, by this, it's like, publisher, as I said, used to feed me a lot of information from uh, what kind of client other agency is having and what they are doing in their campaign. And in a way, they were helping me to understand what is there in the market and what new I can offer to my client. And
agreed.
I'm sure that was with you as well. But now the things has changed drastically. What I feel that everything is towards DV360 and Google and Meta. They have created an ecosystem and they drive everything through that.
True. I totally agree.
Yeah, yeah. So, what strategy do you find most effective for driving digital sales?
Sorry, come again.
So, what strategies do you find most effective for driving successful digital sales, whether in agency or ad sales?
I think relationship, of course,
Mm,
that helps you in getting the first meeting. And
mm,
second, to firmly believe in your product.
mm,
Because if you happen to understand the social media, say, so tell me
mm,
something very honestly, what difference actually is there between Facebook to Instagram to Snapchat to maybe any other
mm.
threads or any other platform?
Yes.
Uh, they are just pivoting a bit of social innovation, or tech innovation, not much. And like I read somewhere
Mm,
some time back that innovation which used to happen in 1800, it's nowhere there. Today it's more to do with,
mm.
say, fine, you like videos more. Tomorrow onwards, I'll serve you a video app. Um,
Video.
I honestly never got the idea how Snapchat got so big, wherein the idea was, okay, fine, we'll only share the photos in it, right? Me, if I'm your friend, I would love to have a conversation, and why just share photos, right? And why would on
Yes.
earth I would
Yes.
like to have a different app to serve photos, right? So lot of these,
Mm, mm,
sorry, lot of these apps, products, I personally don't feel they are some brilliant products. What
mm.
I understood is that these people believe, and from bottom of their heart, right from the founder to the salesperson, they believe that their product is much better or superior than anyone else.
mm, mm.
I'll give you another example. Songs.pk. We all remember, right?
Yes,
It was a
yes,
brilliant
yes,
product. You go on a browser, you play any goddamn song, good
yes.
quality music. Uh, पायरेसी नॉन पायरेसी रहने दो सर, मतलब वो एक अलग चैप्टर है. And there came Spotify or Ghana or
Mm,
Savan. I remember Savan used to be there. I don't know how big or small are they now. Um, do you actually believe there was a difference between Savan to Spotify? Maybe a bit of a lag time, but I haven't. So these people call their that it's seamless, it's lagless, and this and that. I haven't, as a typical Indian user, जितना internet आता है, I haven't seen much difference in any of these products. Um, what I see that the firm belief that this product is the most superior product ever placed in
mm,
the history, marketed it that way, and sold
mm.
that way is something what
Yes,
is actually a game changer.
yes, yes.
And then persistency, yeah. Just to add, persistency of believing in that. So usually I've seen product guys creating some brilliant products, but then they
Mm,
themselves dwell into whether it's a good product or not. And after say 2 years, they will again do some changes in it, and then that product
mm.
will toss away.
Yes, yes. I understand. So songs.pk was a revolution at that point of time, and now I think it was banned due to piracy reason. And then Savan and all, they all at initially they pitched themselves as a they are the authentic license or whatever they were providing, and you can actually by listening to them you can actually paying to the original artist and all that stuff. They were actually telling the world that we don't believe in piracy since the laws were also becoming stricter and a lot of innovation got stuck in between the laws and the creator. So
Correct.
I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Between Savan to Ghana, and I believe there were a couple of other apps as well at that point in time, and today Spotify
Yes.
or Apple Music, we haven't seen much of a pivot. We haven't seen much of a
No.
product level brilliancy in it. As a
Yes.
layman, look, as a techie, I'm sure my couple of techie friends would say, "अरे क्या बात कर रहा है? ये हो गया, वो हो गया." But as a very layman guy, मेरे को तो सब same दिखता है. Understand?
Hmm. Hmm.
So the the answer to that is yes, the belief in the product,
Hmm.
and yes,
Hmm.
obviously from the tech side, they must be doing some bit of changes and everything. Yeah.
Yes. The user experience and all that they would be working on that. So, to your journey, can you walk through us through your journey path and how transition into digital marketing industry? I mean, you started your career in digital ad sales, and or is it you were in some other industry before?
So, journey was pretty simple. When you are a kid, you always think that your elder siblings or a
Hmm.
teenager,
Hmm.
they got better life. When
Ah.
you are a teenager, you think that other two diasporas got better life. When
The
you are
grass
in mid
is always
40s,
greener.
when yeah, exactly. So it's exactly the same journey. When I used to be in ad sales, I used to think, यार मेरी life कितनी कचरा है. And look at this agency guys, they get to
Oh.
innovate, they work on creatives, they are
Hmm.
being decorated. So usually within agency the media person was a decorated guy, right? लोग appointments लेते हैं, मिलते हैं, and he got all the bragging rights. He will talk बड़ी बड़ी बातें and everything. So that excited me. uh, Client side role again excited me, but I knew client side role पे तो as an entrepreneur नहीं जा सकते. And yeah, I think थोड़ा पुश की खुद का कुछ करते हैं, थोड़े पैसे बनाते हैं, थोड़ा सा push in terms of yes, I want to do something which I know, because I don't again from the low profile life. I don't believe that I am some techie who might be able to do some realistic change in terms of creating something very out of box. Out of box बनाने के लिए सर पैसे चाहिए होते हैं, प्रोडक्ट बनाने के लिए, प्रोडक्ट को
Hmm.
सस्टेन करने के लिए पैसे चाहिए होते हैं, एंड लॉट ऑफ अदर थिंग्स.
Yes.
Ideas are nothing until executed. Ideas got no value.
Executed well. Until it is
Executed well.
executed well.
So हाँ,
Yeah.
आइडियाज की कोई वैल्यू नहीं है, ठीक है? तो
Hmm.
आई एम ड्यूरिंग लास्ट 11 years I met so many founders, brilliant ideas, done
Hmm.
dusted, they are nowhere now. I
Hmm.
think couple of them
Hmm.
left the industry as well. uh, what
Hmm.
I think the journey would be more to do with to figure out, yes, जो आता है वो कर लेते हैं, and let's continue with that.
Implement करते हैं एक्चुअली, जो
हाँ,
आता है
जो
उसको
आता है
इम्प्लीमेंट
वो
करते हैं.
करते हैं, उसको
So.
इम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं, सस्टेन करने की कोशिश करते हैं। पहले एक कंपनी खड़ी कर लेते हैं, यहाँ से 2 पैसे
Hmm.
होंगे तो
Hmm.
कल फिर कुछ और सोच लेंगे।
Hmm. 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 That's nice. Any pivotal moment or experience that shaped your professional journey?
Couple of them यार, many. I I still remember a line from, so I share a Delhi office is in co-working space. Mumbai, we have our
Hmm.
own office now. We bought.
Okay.
So again, that's a thought. A lot of people in agency background, they say don't buy your own office. We bought our
Hmm.
own office in Mumbai, 10,000 square
Hmm.
feet.
Oh.
That was a pivot moment because that gives us
Hmm.
the stability factor. Most of
Hmm.
the agency, when they open their doors, they come with this thought in their mind कि कल बेचेंगे, 10x
Hmm.
लेंगे और निकल लेंगे.
Hmm.
A lot of people. I was talking to one of the very, very senior veteran guy of the industry, and I asked him. In fact, he was talking to us from the acquisition point of view, and during that point in time, we asked him, "So, do you believe that we should have our own real estate?" And he said, "No, no, no, not required. Doesn't make sense, etc." And then one fine day, we thought, no, I think what we believe is what we believe. We shouldn't be just
Hmm.
taking gyans from a lot of people, and we bought our own office. So that's like a small pivot, um,
Hmm. Hmm.
just to ensure that yes, we are going to be there in that office for next 10 years. We have spent 10, 11 years,
Hmm.
and we
Hmm.
have to spend another 10 years making us as a 21-year-old agency or 50-year-old agency in future.
Hmm.
Yes, we will have to upgrade ourselves. We
Hmm. Hmm.
cannot be just doing what we have been doing. Else, our forecast will be more like
Hmm.
what
Hmm.
a lot of mainline agencies at one time living in a golden era and today they are nowhere will be.
Hmm. Hmm. No way.
So
Yes.
that that's like one of them, and many such moments. Yeah, man, it's hard to remember, but yeah, many such moments. Another moment I remember, I was talking to in my previous organization when I used to work for Shadi.com. I was talking
Hmm.
to, I believe, the CEO of Makan.com, uh,
Hmm.
then CEO of Makan.com, which is Aditya. He currently runs this co-working space, the Office Pass. We share the same space in Delhi. And he told me one thing, look, the career line cannot be just like this ever. What you have
Hmm.
to do is a
Hmm.
step-based ladder. Take
Hmm.
appraisals at one point in time, then spend some time taking knowledge,
Hmm.
then take appraisal, take money. Well, I'm not saying not take money. I'm not one of those preacher that no, you should work for knowledge. But yes, you have to take money and then you have to sustain for getting knowledge. Then take money, then sustain for a role. Understand.
Hmm.
That was like one of the pivot moment. I still date in a lot of my pieces. I try to apply that philosophy
Hmm.
and try not to go just like this because that
Hmm.
becomes
Hmm.
at times that become
Uh,
also gives you a down path.
it goes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah. So many such moments. Yeah.
Hmm. So, what role has mentorship played in your career development? You have mentioned a couple of times. If you have anything that someone has given you some advice, or you have gone through any mentorship program.
So go out in the market as you don't know anything. Till date,
Yeah.
I really respect my team members who are more intelligent than me. Let's be very, very honest. look, I understand how to run this business 11 years
Mm,
down the line, or 21 years. Earlier, I used to do media. I was very, very good at doing media. Till date, I know the nuances or the basics of media. But if you
mm,
happen to ask me, Harsh, what about this postback URL? I'll be
mm.
like, boss, पहले ये बताओ postback URL होता क्या है,
होता
right?
क्या
So,
है?
हाँ, मतलब I might know the literal sense, but yes, the technicalities again becomes difficult for you to
Mm,
keep the pace on, right? We
mm,
have been lucky to get decent team members, uh, and these guys are actually the mentor when it comes to a particular set of business. So social guy
mm,
would be
mm,
the mentor for social business, right?
mm,
I'm not much on social media, so
mm,
I hardly I use LinkedIn most of the time, but I do have accounts on Instagram or anything, but 5 साल में कोई पोस्ट नहीं किया होगा मैंने. I have
mm,
left that social media space. So tomorrow, if somebody comes and say, "Hey, reels," in fact, and this happened when people were like, reels are good," and I went to my social guy and said, "यार ये reel क्या होता है यार?" And he said, "नहीं नहीं वो छोटा वाला वीडियो फॉर्मेट को reel बोलते हैं." तो मैंने वीडियो बोल लो ना यार, reel क्यों बोलना है? That's how it is called. Fine. So
mm,
yeah, if you say mentors, Ashish, my business partner, is my mentor. He used to be my
mm,
boss in my previous organization, and I try to implement a lot of his learnings, a lot of his philosophies in my
mm,
day-to-day life. So
that's
I
great.
used to be very aggressive, hire, fire kind of a person, whereas Ashish is more like a team person.
Mm,
A lot of team mechanics and people-centric approach I learned from him.
mm, mm,
So देयर आर लिस्ट ऑफ मेंटोर्स यार, मतलब आप आप मार्केट में बाहर निकलो ये सोच के कि आपको कुछ नहीं आता है, वो बेस्ट है,
mm, mm,
ठीक है?
mm.
यू विल लर्न फ्रॉम एनीबॉडी एवरीबॉडी, एंड दैट आई थिंक
Everybody. Yeah.
कीप योर लिसनिंग ईयर्स ओपन, ट्राई टू लर्न फ्रॉम एवरीवन.
Yeah, that's a nice advice actually. So wherever you feel like it's a good thing and you can implement in your own life, your own business. I mean, that's a
Look, I go
good thing to.
I am not saying this because it sounds very good to say this on a podcast, but I actually try to implement it in my daily life.
Mm,
I got really really bored doing media in agency setup, because मीडिया में क्या
mm,
है ना, आपको वही
mm,
सेट ऑफ 25-50 लोग कॉल करेंगे,
mm,
एक टाइम के बाद
mm,
आपका फेक ईगो बूस्ट हो रहा होगा, क्लाइंट ही मीडिया प्लान बनवा रहा था. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू से दैट with all due respect to a lot of our clients, but yes, at times client will say, boss, I need this, and as an agency owner, you also will say what client need is something what you have to
mm.
deliver, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
all that thing will keep happening. Just give me a sec.
sure.
I think there is some problem with my AC today. Okay. So those were the challenges we were facing at that point. Sorry, where was I? हाँ, तो that point I got bored and I thought कि यार कुछ नया करते हैं. अब आप अपने बिजनेस में कुछ नया कैसे कर
Mm,
सकते हो, right? You have to start something of new, and we were not at a stage जहां हम कुछ नया चालू कर सकते हैं. आई वाज इन मुंबई अगेन सिटिंग विद आशीष,
mm,
एंड आशीष वन डे सेड, अरे यार बहुत काम हो जाता है, टेक भी संभालो, छोटे छोटे पेमेंट के अप्रूवल करो. मतलब किसी के लैपटॉप में रैम डलनी है तो 5,000 का अप्रूवल, एंड दैट बिकम्स लाइक अ डिसीजन मेकिंग. आई एम नॉट एबल टू डू सो मेनी
yes.
माइक्रो मैनेजमेंट. एंड
Mm,
देन एट दैट पॉइंट इन टाइम आई सेड कि अच्छा मैं तो खाली हूँ, मेरे पास
mm,
थोड़ा सा रिलेटिवली टाइम है, व्हाई डोंट यू पास दिस फाइनेंस थिंग टू मी.
mm,
And I actually started intervening into finance with basics like कि हाँ इसको ये अप्रूवल दे दिया, ये कर दिया, वो कर दिया. Still I used to go to Ashish lot many times, say अरे ये अप्रूवल है 10,000 का, तो we till date we do that कि छोटे छोटे पैसों का अप्रूवल आपस में हम लोग लेते हैं,
mm.
just to keep a cost in check.
In
So
check, yeah.
it has started from there, and thankfully or unfortunately, uh, we face a lot of challenges related to GST, related to
Mm,
company taxations and everything. And we our business and export also went really really high. And
mm.
Because of that export business, there are a lot of rules which are related to FEMA, RBI compliances,
mm,
etc., etc.
mm, mm,
And had to go to multiple consultants. सबने कुछ ज्ञान दिया। जीएसटी के लिए कम से कम 5 कंसल्टेंट्स को रेफर कर रहे थे हम लोग, पांचों को पे कर रहे थे, पांचों से ज्ञान लेते थे, पांचों की एडवाइस अलग थी। लॉयर्स, जीएसटी कंसल्टेंट, इंटरनेशनल सेटअप। सो वी आर नाउ इन दुबई एंड सिंगापुर एज वेल। सो वहां के सेटअप कैसे
oh, that's
होंगे?
great.
वी आल्सो हैव अ एसईजेड ऑफिस इन इंडिया. So within
Mm,
Auburn, there is Auburn regular, which is more
mm,
like a GST and domestic business. And for
mm,
international business, we have a setup in SEZ entity under the name
mm,
of Auburn. So
mm,
all of this brainstorming, ideas, referring to YouTube, learning from YouTube, इनपुट आउटपुट टैक्स क्या होता है ये नहीं समझ आता था। सीए तो आएगा, वो आपको इनपुट आउटपुट टैक्स है, आपका यहाँ इनपुट सेटल हो जाएगा, आउटपुट सेटल। एंड आई यूज्ड टू बी लाइक, ये क्या बोल रहा है? अब इसके आगे अगर ये बोला कि यार मैं तो इनपुट आउटपुट भी नहीं आता, तो ये कहेगा, बोले यार आप नोवाइस नहीं, आप वापस जाओ, आपको नहीं आता ये सब। तो फिर यूट्यूब पे बैठ के सर्च करते थे। तो ये लास्ट 2-3 साल पहले की जर्नी है कि जहाँ 3 साल 4 साल पहले आई पिवटेड माई
mm,
सेल्फ इनटू मैनेजिंग एंटायर फाइनेंस, एंड
mm,
थैंकफुली बिकॉज ऑफ दैट we
mm.
opened another revenue stream within the organization. So
Oh,
we do some good revenue just
mhm.
because I was able to understand finance.
Oh,
There are tricks of the trades, there are things how you manage things
mm,
in a better manner. And
mm,
you happen to understand a lot of things. You meet bankers, you meet investors, you meet a lot of high profile these people जिनको कुछ
mm.
कुछ आता है अलग, जिन जो आपको नहीं आता। अंडरस्टैंड, आप एजेंसी वाले हो यार, मीडिया चलाते हो, आपको क्या आता है? आपको वो आता है, वो
Exactly.
सर। फाइनेंस एक अलग ही चिड़िया है ना। आपको वो चीज कोई इनसाइडर ही बताएगा कि अच्छा आप ये चीज ऐसे
Ex-
करोगे तो आपको 5 पैसा और मिलेगा। एंड वो पांच
mm,
पैसा 5 पैसा करके वी मेक सम मनी फॉर आवरसेल्फ।
mm, mm. If I may ask, can you share a couple of tricks?
वेरी वेरी स्मॉल, जैसे एक छोटा सा ट्रिक मैं आपको बताता हूँ। हम लोग का इंटरनेशनल, लाइक आई सेड, बिजनेस है, राइट?
Mm,
अभी इंटरनेशनल बिजनेस में क्या, आपको फॉरेक्स आता है इंडिया में।
mm,
Now, with that forex, you can actually apply for a different type of loan, which is called
mm.
FCDL. So,
Okay.
when we bought our office property,
Mm,
the lending rate is around 9% for corporate loans.
mm,
Okay, if you are
mm,
buying a property, if you are buying a cash flow, or if you are taking loan for cash flow, then it goes to 12%, 14% as well.
mm, mm.
Just because we had this forex inflow, हमारा lending rate 5% आ गया।
Oh, I mean, it's
तो
a saving of
as of
almost
now,
5-7%.
5%. And another thing, understand the regular rental rate in India for office property is around 6%.
Mm,
So मेरे को अगर लोन 5% पे मिल रहा है, तो मैं तो रेंटल
mm.
से भी 1% कम पे बैठा हूँ ना।
8% come on. Exactly.
So this is
Exactly.
again one of the key decision, one of the reasons we were
Mm,
able to finalize कि यार इधर तो रेंट से भी सस्ता पड़ रहा है मेरे को, right?
mm,
But you have to have a substantial amount of forex inflow.
mm,
बट
mm,
आपके पास फॉरेक्स होगा, बहुत सारी कंपनीज के इंडिया में फॉरेक्स है, उनको पता ही नहीं है ये चीज होती है।
mm, mm,
Another trick of the trade I can share is, though that scheme is nowhere and we didn't get benefit because जब तक हमें इसके बारे में पता चला, वो
mm,
स्कीम हमारे ऑनरेबल फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर, देन फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर मिस्टर पीयूष गोयल एंड
mm.
इंडस्ट्री मिनिस्टर, उन्होंने इस पे होल्ड लगा दिया था। देयर इज अ स्कीम
Mm.
कॉल्ड SEIS। सो
Okay.
सारे एक्सपोर्ट पे, आपने जितना भी एक्सपोर्ट किया सर्विसेज का, आपको 5 से 7% का सब्सिडी मिलता है।
Oh.
तो आपने अगर मान लो 100 करोड़ का बिजनेस किया, जिधर आपको आपका क्लाइंट में भी शायद 5 करोड़ दे रहा होगा एज एन एजेंसी कमीशन,
हाँ,
आपको 5 करोड़ इंडियन गवर्नमेंट भी देने वाली थी।
हाँ.
बट लाइक आई
Oh.
सेड, मेरा बैड लक बोलो, 2019 में तक ये
Mm,
स्कीम थी। 2020
mm,
में जब हमारा बिजनेस ज्यादा बड़ा होना चालू हुआ और जब हमें ये सब स्कीम्स पता चली, हमने थोड़ा
mm,
बहुत एक्सपोर्ट 2019 में भी किया था। बट उसके लिए एक
mm,
आईसी रजिस्ट्रेशन लेना होता है टू बी एलिजिबल फॉर दैट। हमारा तब तक आईसी
mm,
रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं था। फिर एक कंसल्टेंट ने
mm,
बोला, अरे सर आप तो पैसा लूज कर रहे हो, आईसी रजिस्ट्रेशन ले लो। तो हमने पैसा खर्चा करके आईसी रजिस्ट्रेशन भी लिया। बट
mm,
देन स्कीम अभी तक नहीं वापस से रिवैम्प हुई है। इट माइट, अगर होती है तो वी विल मिंट मनी अगेन। तो
mm, mm,
दीज आर लाइक स्मॉल 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 स्मॉल, बहुत सारी ऐसी ट्रिक्स हैं यार, चलती रहती हैं ये
mm.
तो।
That's great to understand that there are few things that any startup can take mileage out of it. So it is good to know always.
एक्सपोर्ट में सर बहुत है, एक्सपोर्ट
Mm-hmm.
में स्पेशली मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में, सर्विसेज में गवर्नमेंट ने काफी डाउन डाउन किया है इन चीजों को, क्योंकि एज पर देम सर्विस इज अ प्रॉफिट मेकिंग एंड कैश रिच बिजनेस.
Mm-hmm.
But manufacturing में still there are a lot of schemes, credit schemes
Mm-hmm.
from government. In the recent budget also, if you see, they a lot of people are saying budget is bad. Yes, budget is bad for me as well when it comes to as LTCG or short-term gain or indexation or all these benefits going away. बट
Yes.
MSMEs के लिए गवर्नमेंट ने जितना स्कीम्स रोल आउट की हैं, लैंडिंग्स रोल आउट किए हैं, 10 लाख रुपीस
Mm-hmm.
तक का लोन विदाउट एनी कोलैटरल रोल आउट किया है. डू यू नो देयर इज अ स्कीम, आई डोंट नो हाउ टू अप्लाई फॉर इट, हमें कभी जरूरत नहीं पड़ी. बट अगर आपका एक्सपोर्ट बिजनेस है, आप दुबई में एग्जीबिशन लगाओगे, आपको गवर्नमेंट आपका एयर टिकट भी देती है, आपको गवर्नमेंट आपका वो एग्जीबिशन लगाने का जो स्टॉल स्टॉल का खर्चा होता है, दैट इज फंडेड बाय
Mm-hmm.
गवर्नमेंट वंस इन अ ईयर और समथिंग ऑफ दैट.
Yes.
एंड इवन अगर आप अपने क्लाइंट्स को अब्रॉड से इंडिया बुला रहे हो, ठीक है, तो
Mm-hmm.
उनके आने जाने का एक्सपेंस वगैरह गवर्नमेंट आपको रेमिट करती है. तो ऐसी
Oh.
बहुत सारी
Oh.
स्कीम्स हैं. इट्स जस्ट दैट
Mm-hmm.
हाउ टू हाउ यू, मतलब अब देखो मेरे को उतनी नीड नहीं है,
Mm-hmm.
थैंकफुली हमारा काम चल जाता है, तो हमने दिमाग नहीं लगाया, और हमारे बिजनेस
Mm-hmm.
में इतने एग्जीबिशन वाला गेम नहीं है. बट इफ यू आर
Mm-hmm.
अ पापड़ गाय और इफ यू आर इनटू मैन्युफैक्चरिंग और समथिंग
Mm-hmm.
ऑफ दैट, आपके लिए तो दिस दिस स्कीम, व्हाई आई एम सेइंग व्हेन यू सेड एंटरप्रेन्योर और अदर गाइस, ये SEIS का सबसे ज्यादा नुकसान है ट्रैवल इंडस्ट्री को हुआ. हम लोगों के लिए तो एक्स्ट्रा मूला था. ट्रैवल
Mm-hmm.
इंडस्ट्री में मार्जिन्स आर वेरी 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 लो.
Very low.
SEIS की
Yes.
बदौलत वो लोग जिंदा थे, लेकिन वो स्कीम
Mm-hmm.
बंद होने से सबसे ज्यादा चोट ट्रैवल इंडस्ट्री को पड़ी है.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
सो लॉट ऑफ
I understand.
you like I said, finance, I started loving it when I got to know कि अच्छा यार इतना कुछ सीखने को है, क्योंकि वो
Mm-hmm.
लर्निंग कर्व एक टाइम के बाद डिप होना चालू हो गया.
Ah, yes, yes. I can relate actually. So I will in this section. I mean, let's move to the marketing insight part. I will bring back to you from finance to again to the digital marketing. How do you see the role of AI and automation evolving in the digital marketing?
Exactly the way marketing changed with laptops and desktops.
Yes.
सो लैपटॉप्स डेस्कटॉप्स ने किसी की जॉब नहीं खाई.
Mm,
अ, लोगों को लैपटॉप डेस्कटॉप पे जॉब करने के लिए पुश किया. लेट्स बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट.
mm, mm,
एआई ऑटोमेशन आज से नहीं है, इट्स बीन देयर फॉर
mm.
डोंकी इयर्स.
Yes.
ऑल माय लर्नड फ्रेंड्स इन द इंडस्ट्री डू दे थिंक कि गूगल बिना ऑटोमेशन के चल रहा था, या बिना मशीन लर्निंग के चल रहा था, कि फेसबुक बिना ऑटोमेशन के चल रहा था. हाउ डू यू थिंक कि प्रोग्रामेटिक वाज लॉन्च्ड अर्लियर और ट्रेड डेस्क वाज लॉन्च्ड
Mm,
अर्लियर एंड एआई आज आया है. सो ये सब चीजें बहुत
mm,
सालों से
mm,
हैं. तो
mm.
दिस
It was
सेइंग,
it. These things were behind the curtain earlier.
one
So
behind the curtains,
mm,
second I think it's available for generic public now. So
mm,
any regular person, small soho owner now knows
mm,
कि हाँ यार कैनवा यूज करके क्रिएटिव बनता है.
mm,
नाउ दे नो
mm,
कि हाँ कॉपी लिखी जा सकती है. अ
mm,
पर्सन हु इज नॉट एबल टू टॉक इन इंग्लिश प्रीटी वेल, उसको पता है कि एक लेटर को सही फॉर्मेट में कैसे लिखवाना है एआई से. सो
mm,
दीज थिंग्स आर वेरी वेरी गुड एज अ जनरल पब्लिक. बट नाउ अंडरस्टैंड, इट्स इम्पैक्टिंग एग्जैक्टली इन द सेम मैनर जैसे लैपटॉप और डेस्कटॉप्स ने इम्पैक्ट किया था.
mm,
ऐसा
mm,
नहीं है कि लैपटॉप डेस्कटॉप आया तो लोगों की जॉब्स चली गई. लोगों की
mm,
जॉब्स बेटर हो गई. यू
mm,
विल यू विल पिवट. हम
mm,
ह्यूमंस को सर्वाइवल इंस्टिंक्ट बहुत स्ट्रांग है. वी विल पिवट, हम कुछ और करेंगे, हम कुछ नया ढूंढेंगे. एंड द नेक्स्ट जनरेशन, लुक आई स्टिल फील लॉट ऑफ द पीपल आई नो पर्सनली जिनको लैपटॉप डेस्कटॉप नहीं आता, एंड दे स्ट्रगल. उनका सैलरी आई थिंक 30-50,000 वाले ब्रैकेट में है. दे आर वेन एवर दे आर बीइंग हायर्ड, उनको एक ऐसा रोल दे दिया जाएगा, भले ही उनमें नॉलेज अच्छी होगी, बट उनको ऐसा रोल दे दिया जाएगा
mm,
जहां वो शायद उनको ये फील होता हो कि यार मेरी नॉलेज पूरी यूज नहीं हो पा रही है,
यूज
राइट?
नहीं हो रही।
बट सेम विल हैपन विद एआई।
हम्म,
आपने लैपटॉप डेस्कटॉप नहीं यूज करना सीखा, इज योर मिस्टेक ना, समवेयर।
हम्म,
या आपके पास अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं आई, या वो इट कुड बी एनीथिंग, राइट?
हम्म,
एआई विल सेट द सेम कोर्स।
हम्म,
इंडस्ट्री लेवल क्या चेंजेस होंगे, तो लेट्स बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट कि जितने बॉटम ऑफ द पिरामिड में, ऑफिसेस में, जो लोगों को अच्छा काम नहीं करना आता, इंटेलिजेंस नहीं है, जो सिर्फ ऑफिस इसलिए आते हैं कि हाँ मेरे को क्रिएटिव में लोगों को लेफ्ट का राइट करना है। एम आई ऑडिबल? योर स्क्रीन फ्रोज। हाँ, जो
yes,
जो
yes, you are audible.
जो ऑफिसेस में इसलिए आते हैं कि हमें लोगों का लेफ्ट का राइट करना है, या कॉपी इसलिए लिखते हैं कि हमें एक लंबा सेंटेंस देना है और वो कॉपी बन जाएगी, they will they will have to pivot into some other profession maybe, or they will figure out something
हम्म,
else to do. If you happen to ask me
हम्म,
AI automation क्या करेगा, तो honestly I
हम्म,
am not the right guy to even tell that. It's way larger in terms of picture. If you see SF में अब आजकल
हम्म,
ड्राइवरलेस कार्स चल रही हैं, तो will AI
हम्म,
eat all the Uber guys job, and what will they do? Maybe honestly. I have
हम्म,
a set of friends जो typical nerds हैं, techies हैं, and when I sit with them, I at times happen to ask कि मेरी 8-year-old daughter के लिए क्या profession करूं यार, क्या वो
हम्म,
बड़ी होकर के what
हम्म,
can she get into? And honestly, these guys from
हम्म,
IIT sold their startups and whatnot. They have no answer to it.
हम्म,
They are like, oh, no, no,
हम्म,
automation is going to do this and that. And whenever we discuss, अच्छा ये कर सकती है, बच्चा ये कर लेगा, बच्चा वो कर लेगा,
हम्म,
यार ये भी ऐसे हो जाएगा। इवन थिंग्स
हम्म,
लाइक प्रॉम्प्टिंग, इमेजिन, ऐसे तो आप सोचो प्रॉम्प्टिंग भी एआई कर लेगा ना।
हम्म,
तो what will
yes,
happen
yes,
with AI, or what happened with desktop,
हम्म,
with the computing power, thanks to computing power of
हम्म,
desktop or laptop, cannot be
हम्म,
imagined in 2000 or 1990।
हम्म,
लैपटॉप आज क्या कर
हम्म,
सकता है, आप और मैं, मतलब आप गुड़गांव बैठे हो, मैं फरीदाबाद बैठा हूँ, थैंक्स टू कोविड
yes,
ये टीम्स और जूम ये पहले भी थे।
yes,
We never happened to be so comfortable talking on them,
हम्म,
right? But thanks to COVID,
yes,
more like
yes,
generative AI जब आया, तो आप और मैं बैठ के यहाँ बात कर रहे हैं। तो
हम्म,
what will happen exactly
हम्म,
future
हम्म,
में, I think it's very very difficult to forecast, especially for a person like me. I'm sure there would be a lot of experienced people जो इस पे ज्यादा better comment कर।
हम्म। So one thing that you said, that there are few people that who come to office and that they do the basic things, but I've seen people same in the creative line. They use generative AI to their advantage. What they were so for example, as they were churning out 2 or 3 copy in a day, now they churn out 7, 8, 10 copies, and they all are brilliant. Actually, leveraging that tool.
More than that,
So
imagine,
the time will tell how. Yes.
more than that, imagine, we have a client, deep, मतलब heavy tech client, this guy is,
Mm,
and we got copywriters जो उतना deep tech नहीं समझते हैं at times. So thanks to
mm,
AI, they generate first level of content. They understand
mm,
the nitty-gritties, and then they course
mm,
correct with the help of client, with the help of some tech senior. So one tech guy can help the entire copy team now, versus earlier कि नहीं, मेरे
mm,
को tech के ही copywriters लगेंगे।
mm,
Things will pivot. अब tech वाला tech
mm,
करेगा, copywriting नहीं करेगा,
mm,
क्योंकि lot of tech people
yes.
started copywriting because उनको tech नहीं समझ आता था।
Mm, mm, mm,
I happen to come
yes.
across a person, बीटेक किया हुआ है कंप्यूटर साइंस में, अभी वो सोशल मीडिया का कॉपीराइटिंग करना चाहता है, क्यों? क्योंकि उसको टेक नहीं अच्छा लगता। तो आई एम नॉट सेइंग, पिवट्स विल हैपन, किस शेप में
I
होगा,
understand.
क्या होगा,
Yes, yes.
नोबडी नोस।
Nobody knows. So what are some common misconception businesses have about digital marketing?
डिजिटल
So I
मार्केटिंग में बहुत
remember there are
पैसा है,
few. Uh,
डिजिटल मार्केटिंग में बहुत पैसा है। डिजिटल मार्केटियर्स रोज शाम को दारू पीते हैं और
Rupees.
क्लब्स में डांस करते हैं। डिजिटल मार्केटियर्स, मतलब आई कांट से इट क्लियरली, बट यस, डिजिटल मार्केटियर्स की लाइफ बहुत ही
Cool.
फ्लैम्बॉयंट होती है, ठीक है?
Flamboyant. Yeah, that's
द
the right
बेटर
word.
वर्ड फॉर दैट.
Yeah, yeah.
So I believe these are misconceptions, and
Mm,
digital marketing बहुत easy है. This is the biggest misconception.
mm,
क्योंकि what I believe, and like I fairly say, I can say that now because मैं अब टिपिकली डिजिटल मार्केटियर नहीं हूँ. मैं थोड़ा सा फाइनेंस, थोड़ा कुछ ये सब संभालता हूँ. आई कैन एक्चुअली सी टुडे डिजिटल मार्केटिंग इज मच मच टफर 10 years
mm,
बैक. 10 साल
yes.
पहले लाइक आई सेड, पब्लिशर से मिलो, ये करो वो करो, चलता था. अभी डिजिटल मार्केटिंग में इतना टेक का इन्वॉल्वमेंट हो गया. इट्स nowhere digital marketing, it's digitech marketing, I would say.
Mm,
इनफैक्ट हमारा
mm,
जो हमने दुबई और सिंगापुर ऑफिस खोला है, that is
mm,
called digitech solutions. India companies Auburn digital solutions versus
mm,
Dubai and Singapore companies are digitech solutions, Auburn digitech
mm,
solutions. So
mm, mm,
it's totally techno.
It's totally, so a lot of data is involved. You have to take a lot of
क्रिएटिव भी डेटा
past
है सर.
experience. Exactly, exactly. So creative care around everything revolves actually.
करेक्ट.
So I understand. I understand. How do you approach creating a comprehensive digital marketing strategy for your client? If you have
I'm
a,
not the right person again, sorry.
okay.
Though the basics I know, the team uses tools like SimilarWeb and all this. So we have subscription to SimilarWeb Pro and couple of other industry standard tools.
Mm,
We also use a bit of human intelligence because we
mm,
firmly believe marketing can not just be taken for granted with the basis of numbers.
mm,
So mix of both human understanding and tools, we try to drive a media plan, and
mm,
then actually media plans start happening. So media
mm,
plan is just a initial uh, ingredient to your
mm,
campaign. When you run
mm,
a campaign, the A/B testing, what's working,
yes.
what's not working, checking the reports on a
Mm,
daily basis, lead CRM data, whether pixels are firing properly, etc., etc. That is
mm,
where your media plan start coming into shape.
mm,
So
mm,
we as a agency, we firmly believe in, just 1 second, बढ़िया बेटा, 2 minutes. We as a agency, we firmly believe in going that route, which is post media plan, because
mm,
media plan is much easier to formulate,
mm,
especially in digital era. Look,
mm,
I happened to meet one of very senior guy in my flight few days back, एंड उन्होंने उस टाइम पे अप्लाइड मैथ्स और ये सब चीजें यूज करके स्टारकॉम और मेडिसिन से
mm,
तब इन लोगों ने मेन लाइन की प्लानिंग की थी. नाउ मेन लाइन
mm,
में तब अप्लाइड मैथ्स को यूज करके फोरकास्टिंग करके और वो सब करके मेक सेंस, बिकॉज दैट पॉइंट इन टाइम there were no tools, there were no applications which help you with this. Today you got Google Planner, today you got SimilarWeb Pro, so you got
mm,
everything handy. So there is not much mathematical work what you do.
mm,
डेटा आता है पका पकाया, आपको उसको देखना है, आपको ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस देखनी है, मीडिया प्लान बनाना है, और फिर मीडिया प्लान एग्जीक्यूट करना इज
mm, mm. Is
मेन प्रॉब्लम.
the critical part. Yeah, main part. Yeah.
वहां आप सीखते हो,
So
वहां आपका मीडिया
execution.
प्लान एक्चुअली बनता है.
Mm, mm. Course correction happens when you start uh,
एग्री.
implementing it. Yeah. So I will now ask you some few personal questions. So I'm done with all the questions. Uh, so digital may how did it happen? I mean, is it like you wanted to be in
सैलरी
sales? You
अच्छी मिल रही
wanted to
थी.
be
सैलरी अच्छी मिल रही थी. आई यूज्ड टू वर्क फॉर जी टीवी. वहाँ
Hmm,
11,000 रुपये महीने की सैलरी थी.
hmm,
आई गॉट अ कॉल फ्रॉम शादी.com. उनकी जो
hmm,
एचआर हेड थी, वो जैन
hmm,
टीवी में हमारी
hmm.
एचआर हेड होती थी.
Okay.
और लकली वो जब, मतलब दो शी वाज एचआर हेड, मैं सेल्स एग्जीक्यूटिव था, लेकिन हमारी थोड़ी दोस्ती हो गई थी, मतलब एज एन उनको लगता था ये एक जुझारू बच्चा बैठा हुआ ऑफिस के अंदर. तो शी कॉल्ड मी फ्रॉम शादी.com व्हेन शी वाज विद शादी.com एंड शी सेड, अंजलि श्रीवास्तव इज हर नेम. शी कॉल्ड मी एंड शी सेड कि अरे इधर डिजिटल में जॉब है, ऐसा ऐसा, और उस समय डिजिटल में लैपटॉप नहीं मिलते थे सेल्स के टाइम पे, क्योंकि लैपटॉप वाज एन एक्सपेंसिव एसेट,
mm,
राइट? तो हम प्रिंट आउट लेकर के जाते थे दिखाने के लिए कि अरे सर आपका ऐड इधर आएगा टाइप्स।
mm,
तो
mm,
शादी के रिटेल सेल्स में जॉब मिल रही थी, व्हिच इज लाइक ये जितने भी शादी के अराउंड बिजनेस होते हैं, घोड़ी वाला, चावला बैंड, फलाना ढिमका,
mm,
तो उन
mm,
पे आई वाज सपोज्ड टू गो एंड डू द सेल्स, 20-20 हजार,
mm,
25-25 हजार की लिस्टिंग। बट सैलरी
mm.
अच्छी मिल रही थी, 30 हजार रुपए दे रहे थे, 11 हजार से 30 हजार वॉज लाइक अ
100%
जंप जो मैं
almost.
सोच नहीं सकता था। हाँ, मतलब वो भी उस टाइम पे आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट 2006, 30,000
Mm.
रुपीज इन 2006 वाज लाइक मैं तो अमीर बन
Mm.
गया टाइप्स। तो जॉब ज्वाइन कर ली। फिर डिजिटल में आने के 1 साल के अंदर आई रियलाइज्ड कि यार ये येलो पेजेस सेल में मजा नहीं है। मेरे कॉलीग्स थे उस टाइम पे जो
Mm.
कॉर्पोरेट सेल्स करते थे शादी के लिए, तो दे यूज्ड टू मीट
Mm.
ग्रुप एम एंड ये वो, तो उनकी लाइफ थोड़ी फैंसी लगी। लाइक आई सेड कि लाइफ बड़ी फैंसी थी। तो
हाँ,
फिर मतलब कुछ भी करके, कैसे भी करके अपनी टीम में इंटरनली ब्लैकमेल करके, जैसे भी करके मैंने
mm.
इधर आ गया
Corporate sales.
कॉर्पोरेट सेल्स टीम में। फिर पता चला मोबाइल रिंग बैक टोन का जमाना आ रहा है, मोबाइल एरा बड़ा हो रहा है, और
हाँ,
शादी की सेल्स टीम डिसॉल्व हो रही थी
mm, mm,
ड्यूरिंग रिसेशन। 2009 की बात है, तो वी
mm,
ऑल गॉट फायर्ड एंड
mm,
लकली हमने दूसरी जॉब सिक्योर कर ली थी। लेकिन उसी टाइम पे मेरे को एक अपॉर्चुनिटी स्ट्रेटोजियर करके एक कंपनी से आई, व्हिच वाज इनटू मोबाइल रिंग बैक टोन, एड रिंग बैक। तो
mm,
आप किसी को फोन करोगे, यू विल लिसन एन एड एंड नॉट द
mm. I
लाइक।
understand. I've worked with on a similar kind of uh,
आई
ad
थिंक
solution.
वो, हाँ, एक थी 123 और सम 197
Something. हाँ,
सम हाँ।
पहले था.
तो
हाँ.
मैंने स्ट्रेटोस्फेयर में काम किया, तो वहां पर फिर वो मोबाइल में एरा बहुत बड़ा होने वाला, और अगेन सैलरी अच्छी मिल रही थी। तो
Mm,
एक फायर्ड आदमी को सैलरी अच्छी मिल रही हो और मोबाइल का एक्सपोजर मिल रहा हो, तो क्या करेगा वो, उधर चला
mm,
जाएगा। तो आई थिंक दिस वाज मोर करियर। आई वाज फॉर्चुनेट इनफ टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट,
mm,
थैंक गॉड आई वाज लकी इनफ
mm,
to get right opportunity, right time, and just grab it
mm.
without giving it a second thought.
Mm, great, great. And I mean, as in you were when you passed out, when you passed out from your education, then you were actually thinking that yeah, I will go into sales, or you were thinking that yeah, मैं कुछ और करूँगा, but you landed here.
So, again, interesting story. Um, I did my education very, very seriously till 12th, 10 plus 2.
Mm,
Then I happened to, because of financial issues within the family, we come from a Marwadi business background, so a
mm,
bit of a split in terms of business. I had to go with open learning, which is IGNU
mm,
BCA.
mm, mm,
During that time, I just chose जो भी job मिल रही थी for survival piece. तो right from selling SIM cards in a call center to वो दिन के 100 calls करना, सर सिम कार्ड ले लो, और टेलीकॉलिंग और एनी ऑफ दैट सॉर्ट, टू एनीथिंग एनीथिंग। एंड देन वो करियर किधर शेप हुआ, कैसे हुआ, और वो कहते हैं ना सबसे लोएस्ट हैंगिंग जॉब सेल्स होती है हमेशा।
mm,
यू यू गो इन सेल्स नॉट बाय चॉइस, बट सेल्स चूज यू
mm,
मोस्ट
mm,
ऑफ द टाइम।
mm.
So yeah, that's the answer to it.
Any
But I
one
think that
place?
was, but I firmly believe, sorry, just to add one last line,
Mm,
this
mm,
was the best thing happened to me 20
mm,
25 years back. अगर
mm,
मैं सेल्स में नहीं होता तो मैं कहीं नहीं होता। आई थिंक सो।
mm, mm. Mm. So, so I always believe whichever in whatever situation I am in right now is basis what decision I have taken in the past. I always had a decision whether I have to go to right or go to left, and whatever
Correct.
decision I have taken, I'm there. You know, I don't have to blame anyone for the situation.
Exactly. You don't have to regret,
Yeah.
and also I think a lot of role what we always disregard to, or in today's woke time we say no, it's not true, is the luck. I
Mm.
am a firm believer that, and though I am not a some बाबा धर्मात्मा, मैं कोई रिंग नहीं पहनता, मैं कोई कोई पूजा नहीं करता, मैं मतलब ऑनेस्टली आई डोंट, मतलब मैं सुबह उठ के हाथ भी नहीं जोड़ पाता, मैं मैं उन लोगों में से हूँ. And I'm not Nastic. I totally believe in God. I totally believe in eternal power. I'm not an atheist, but the whole idea is, yes, you get favored in terms of
Mhm,
luck. Your
mhm,
situations get favored in terms of luck
mhm,
at any point in time.
mhm,
So जब तक है जितना है खुश रहो.
mhm. Nee, that is true. That is true. That is true. So last question. What is that one place that you want to visit and you haven't, and why would you like to visit that place?
South America.
Okay, and why? Why? I mean, any specific reason or just like that? यार वहाँ नहीं गए, वहाँ जाना चाहिए. And sometime I will
Uh, more to do with थोड़ी hidden mysteries हैं. You
explore करना
you
है.
हाँ, you hear a lot of such stories ना. Amazon के जंगल्स हैं, जंगल में ये हो जाता है, वहाँ पे ये ऐसा है. So around that, yeah.
Hmm, hmm. That's nice. That's nice. So it is our session comes to an end, and I would thank you, Harsh, for joining us and giving us a lot of insight. A lot of you have helped me help lot my audience also to understand how business run and how that finance part is how important it is, and eventually you can also generate revenue for the business, and
Thank you.
hope so we connect next time someday on the show again.
Perfect, perfect. We'll do that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Harsh.